There's this old guitar, my first guitar, that I foolishly sold many years ago. And the guy that I sold it to, I kept, sort of asking, if you're ever going to sell that guitar, he says, yes, Dave, I know. If I'm ever going to sell it, I will sell it to you, don't worry, but I'm not going to sell it. I said, okay, but just tell me. I'll tell you. And, 15 years go by. And then he called me up and he said, okay, so I guess I'm not playing it much. I'm ready to, get it back to you. I said, uh-oh, how much? He said, I'll give it to you. Thank you. It is wonderful to have that guitar back. I mean, it's not a great guitar. It doesn't play well or anything, but it has a certain funk to it. It has to play that sort of Nick Drake stuff, the stuff that I first learned how to play, that funky old Guild sound, just like not really hi-fi, just sort of like a nice little mid-range bump and pretty much nothing else. But it's a great sounding guitar for a certain kind of thing. And I hear my son, Nate, playing it now. He's figuring out all these Nick Drake songs, and he's playing the old Guild. And I'm just like listening outside the door thinking, don't go in, don't ruin it. And I hear him playing these riffs, like figuring it out exactly right. Of course, it's a little easier now with YouTube. He's got all access to, great tutorials. But he's way smarter than me anyway. He's got so many choices. He probably, will do some combination of music and art and his great leadership. I'm bragging on my son. This is ridiculous. I might as well tell you he aced the SAT. I mean, on the verbal, perfect score. It's nuts. But anyway, I keep wondering, son, stop. Quit doing your homework. You're supposed to be a musician. How can you... But I carefully try to, leave guitars around, but never encourage, never push, because it's always got to be fresh. It's got to be revolutionary. But it's really fun hearing him play that old guitar. So there's a whole other chapter to this song that's sort of in the subtext. There's a guitar here in the window I like to play before it's sold. It's such a classic, mint condition, great shape for one this old. All these axes have their stories of the gigs that they have seen. But when this one sold the first time I was 17, of course back then I didn't want it. It was way too new for me. I needed something old and righteous with its own authority. So the first guitar I ever bought was twice as old as me, 'cause its life was full of music as I dreamed that mine might be. And I played that thing 1,000 nights and traded it away for something slightly newer that was easier to play. But now lately I buy new guitars, shiny as a hearse. I still like the look of road wear, but the roles have been reversed. But now this thing is a classic, and I still don't need to buy. Yeah, the old ones have their stories, but by now, so do I.